I also found an author of a book who talked about Gorgon stare. Like, it's Gorgon stare for sure. It's Gorgon stare. That's what it is. Oh, I forgot. So the other big thing was that after I made the video yesterday, going through all of that, I see this reply by Drew Ponder, who does a lot of AI stuff. And I kind of just thought it was going to be a generic analysis, but actually Drew Ponder took the video, he fed the video into ChatGPT, and he had ChatGPT do an analysis to determine if it's consistent with Gorgon stare increment 2. And the AI came back and said, not only is it consistent with Gorgon stare increment 2, it's point for point exactly the same as Gorgon stare increment 2's capabilities. And it's so accurate that there are no other systems it could possibly be. And for the only way for it to be fake would be that somebody else created a different system with the exact same specifications as Gorgon stare with Argus. And I went, what? I went, are you kidding me? So when I saw that, and it pointed out additional details that I had never considered, the AI found additional details that I had never considered. It's not just the mouse cursor that comes on the screen here that moves the screen around. It's not just that. These coordinates right down here, those are updating at 24 frames per second. These coordinates are not updating at 6 frames per second. That plane right there is updating 6 frames per second, but the coordinates are 24 frames per second along with the mouse. That right there is that alone. That alone, the leaker knew that alone was proof the videos were real. The leaker knew that the fact that we're looking at something being the screen around it's 24 frames per second and the mouse. So this is what the AI realized. The AI realized it's not just a simple mouse that somebody added. You're literally looking at the software, pulling the whammy footage into the software, and the software is built for this exact purpose. Now, what does that mean? That means it's impossible for it to be fake unless the person that faked it knew exactly the technical specifications of how the whammy capabilities work, about how the software worked. They would have had to know exactly how the Gorgon stare Argus software works in order to fake that video, to a level in which you would have literally had to be an engineer. Like, you couldn't just be a random operator and know that level of detail and fake something like that. So once again, I want to point out, I already knew the videos were real. I've been telling you guys the videos were real. I've been telling you guys I knew the videos were real for like a year now. And we got absolute no doubt proof in the form of something that I never would have expected, which was that I was wrong about the satellites. Was wrong about the satellites. So we're going to talk about what it means, but I want to address the satellite thing real quick first. So this was the satellite, and this was my number one post on all of Twitter ever, which is going to be a little bit embarrassing, but I didn't get anything wrong other than assuming that the satellite was taking the video. These satellites, this is USA 229. This is accurate data, what you're looking at here. These satellites were in this location on March 7th, 2014, and that's our coordinates. Those satellites were there. These Navy naval ocean surveillance satellites, they were there in that right location. And the crazy part is we can see them side by side, right? Like, you see the two satellites side by side here. So how much of a coincidence is it that there are two satellites side by side in low Earth orbit flying over our coordinates, and we had stereoscopic imagery? So this is why it was so difficult to solve the case, because we were looking at stereoscopic imagery and we're just going, there's no way it can be a coincidence that we've got stereoscopic imagery, right? I mean, this right here is like, you've got to be looking at two cameras that are close together. To me, that's just like, and so this is where the debunkers then came up with it was reasonably plausible counter argument, which I don't think really holds up, but at this point, I don't know, which was that they claimed that YouTube had the capability to do this, which I still do. I don't understand. Like, the physics of turning something 3D requires 2 cameras. So I don't know how somebody can claim, like, unless they copied one and then they make like a fake 3D. But I don't know how you would be able to do that to something that's like real, as opposed to just like something that's like a non-moving object. Like, you could do it to a picture, but doing it to a video, I don't know about all that. So here's the real kicker, though, on that. So then people are saying, first implication is, what about the satellite and the 3D, the stereoscopic? Well, the facts are still the facts. The satellite was in range above the location. Could it be sending data? Maybe. We don't know if satellites send data to Argus, to Gorgon Stare, to augment it or something like that. No idea. But there definitely is another drone with the Gorgon Stare platform on it, because these Gorgon Stare platforms are module platforms. You don't put it on a satellite. It's really, really big and heavy. It has to be pre-built into the satellite, and they're going to be able to see it. So it's definitely 100% a drone out there. What was I going to say? Sorry, I'm looking at my thing here. Oh, okay. So then here is the other thing. I think JK Philly fan or a bunch of people, we dug around and we were looking for anything we can find about Gorgon Stare. Anything about Gorgon Stare, including any pictures we can find of it. And I went back to a lot of the pictures that I had been discounting previously. Now, this picture is the biggest one. I dug around, looked at the source of this picture right here. And this picture was taken, I believe, in 2015. But basically right after increment 2 of Gorgon Stare was turned online. The timeline is important because this article this comes from implies that this comes from the new version of Gorgon Stare, the one that we are looking at. Gorgon Stare increment 2. Now I'm going to do the influencer thing and say, what do you notice about this picture, guys? What do you notice? Let's zoom in. Oh, look at this. I took a good look at it. Look at the pods. There are 2 pods on this MQ-9 Reaper. One of them says EO, and the other one says IR on it right up there. And both pods look identical to me. They both look exactly the same, right? They look like they have the exact same camera setups on them. So I went, wait a minute. Is it possible? 2 cameras looking down from the drone, looking down above? Guys, spoiler alert, I'm going to let Drew Ponder post the thing, but I asked Drew Ponder, throw it into your AI. Ask the AI what the AI thinks about if the stereoscopic imagery could be coming from 2 cameras on the same drone from above. Spoiler alert, yes, it can be, chat. Yes, it can be. It's 100% consistent with 2 cameras beneath the side of the wings. Now, we can't do the exact math, but I think somebody will probably be able to do it. Basically, the takeaway was that it would present a very small but visual parallax effect, which I've looked at the 3D parallax video so many times that it's pretty much what I expect, because when you look at the parallax of the stereoscopic video, you can see it kind of turns a little bit, but it's very, very, very slight, which would mean that the cameras are very close together to one another. But again, that's going to depend on the distance. So you got to do some geometry to figure that out. But wow. So the only implication there, the only question there on that, the 2 cameras, is one says EO and one says IR. Here they are again. So the question is, can they make 2 videos that are the same when one is IR and one is EO? That I still don't know. My guess is they have the capability to like fuse the two feeds together and also create two stereoscopic feeds side by side at the same time. If so, it would probably necessitate some sort of DARPA contract. Oh wait, there is a DARPA contract to make those cameras. So I'll leave that for you guys to decide. But I'm going to go ahead and say that it's certainly within the possibility in my mind that we could be looking at that stereoscopic video could have been coming from the drone that had the dual Gorgon Stare EO and IR cameras on it. I think we're looking at it. I think we're looking at basically exactly what the drone looked like that took the video, the satellite video. Now, the other thing people say is, well, what about the satellite? Why did they call it satellite? Why did Regicide Anon call that video satellite? That's a huge clue. It says NROL22 in the bottom left corner. Why? Why does it say NROL22 in the bottom left corner? The Gorgon Stare system communicates with relay satellites. In fact, now this is a stretch. This is definitely a stretch. But I'm going to make a weird observation here. Both of these pods say 22 on them. They say 22. Why did they say 22 on those pods? What number? Why would you need to put a 22 on your camera? And both pods say 22. The EO and the IR one does. It could just be a numeric serial number. Maybe that's the 22nd Argus Gorgon Stare pod they produced. But that doesn't really make a lot of sense either. What if that's the satellite that these pods are connected to? What if the pods have to have a hard wire to a relay satellite? And it's not the drone that has the relay, the connection to the satellite, but the pod itself. The pod itself has the connection to the satellite. And so they write 22 on there because that one's going to be connected to NROL22. Whenever this one is flying in the sky, it's connecting to NROL22. I'm just throwing that out there as that's a reach and an observation, but I do think that these pods, if they're not hard linked, static linked, they're at least dynamically linked to relay satellites. That was something else I realized a few days ago, was that I double checked, and yes, the Gorgon Stare has so much data that it has to beam it to relay satellites so that they can store that data and then beam it to ground-based computers. So, boom. Booyah. Now, what does this mean? The biggest implication right off the bat, it means that Regicide Anon was not told what we were looking at. He was not told what that system was. Regicide Anon was just told, here's the video. They must given almost no context whatsoever. Because they would have put on there, this is Gorgon Stare. They would have put on there, this is Whammy. Somebody would have said, look up Whammy. And they would have looked it up. So Regicide Anon was given basically no information about it. And they saw the NROL22 and they probably just assumed it must be a satellite video. And that's huge. Why? Because it pretty much means that Regicide Anon cannot be Edward Lin. Regicide Anon cannot be the person that leaked the video. It has to be someone else. There must be somebody in the middle there. And then the other implication would be, this is the U.S. Air Force now. So what does this mean for Edward Lin's role in this whole thing? I mean, I've been saying Edward Lin's the guy that leaked these videos, and this is a U.S. Navy operation, and all of a sudden now we're in a whirlwind where we're going, that's not a Navy operation, that's an Air Force operation. Why was Edward Lin linked to this? Why did Edward Lin link on this? And somebody just said it in the chat. He logged into the system. He saw the video. He logged into the system and saw the video, right? he might not even have known what Gorgon Stare Increment 2 was, right? Especially if this is on some kind of central database where all these videos are on there and they're just in files named like NROL 22. Maybe we call it in the healthcare world, we call it snooping. When the nurses want to go look into people's charts that they don't have a role, a responsibility, or a clinical reason to look in. By the way, never do this if you're a healthcare provider. Never. They will catch you. I'm the guy that will catch you, and I always catch them. So never go look at a chart. But they call it snooping. That's basically what I think Edward Lin was doing. He was snooping around, and Edward Lin saw those videos. He saw those videos, and he freaked out. Can you imagine seeing those videos on some secure server somewhere where you know they're real? And you're just like, what? You're like, that's a plane getting zapped out of the sky. And then what did he do? He recorded it. He did a screen recording of it. We're watching it. He was logged in the system and he runs across this whammy footage, which he maybe didn't even recognize. I mean, he knew it was our surveillance, but he maybe didn't even know what kind of surveillance. And since he's Navy and this is Air Force, he probably wasn't even familiar with this kind of footage. So he's looking at this and he's going, okay, I'm recording this. He's like, I'm screen recording this. So he pulls up the window. He pops the window up and he starts screen recording the window. And this is important because this is not a screen recording where it's a fixed window position. The window's allowed to move. So he's actually doing a window recording. It's a window recording. He's recording the window. Like, we nailed them. Absolutely nailed. Oh, EO is electro-optical. So I have a feeling this is a fusion of EO and IR, by the way. I think the reason why this looks so weird is because it's not just optical or IR. It's like a fusion of the two. I think that secret software somehow took the data and fused it together and said, okay, we're going to fuse this into some kind of hybrid IR surveillance system. And I think it's some kind of special filter they have set so that like it looks like blue and white at nighttime. They probably have some special name for it that we just don't know about. But that's definitely Gorgon Stare for sure. Yeah, and then in early 2015, Increment 2 replaced all versions of Gorgon Stare as well. So the older version was really shitty, which means that the version we're looking at almost has to be Increment 2 because it's pretty damn nice. If you ask me, I mean, I'm not, a spook, but I'd be pretty satisfied. If that's my surveillance capabilities, I'm pretty happy with this. This is like amazing if you ask me. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's got to be the second increment and not the first one. And once again, I'm going to say it again. That being the second increment of Gorgon Stare proves the video is real beyond any shadow of a doubt. Something else I want to point out is that the video being Gorgon Stare means that I never thought we were going to be able to actually prove what asset or what platform was recording the satellite video, the Gorgon Stare video. And once I realized that we had got the asset, we had actually identified what recorded it, I realized we have proof that the cloud pictures were planted now. We have proof now that the cloud pictures that everybody was trying to use to debunk the videos were planted on the internet. 100% proof. There is no possible way anyone used pictures of clouds to make Gorgon Stare whammy footage. It literally requires the software they use to make that happen. Like, do you guys understand what I'm talking about? There's no human being that can possibly stitch together photos that way. Like, that's what the software does. It stitches the photos together seamlessly so that it looks like a video. And this is the reason why people don't understand why the video like looks weird to them, because we're not looking through it's not a video camera, man. It's literally specialized whammy recording. That's why it's not video. So that's the craziest part, is that this video being Gorgon Stare 100% proves that they planted the whammy photos on the internet and tried to make it look like they were part of an existing set of photos from Japan. So this is the craziest part is we're going to prove that the CIA or Air Force or whatever the piece of shit asshole spooks, that they knew the surveillance footage leaked, the Gorgon Stare footage leaked. They freaked out. They probably took the original pictures because the whammy footage is pictures. It's a bunch of photos. They just took the photos and maybe they had AI manipulate them. I don't even know. I haven't looked at the photos in a long time, if they're like exact perfect or not. They took the photos and they planted them on the internet. They just thought nobody would figure out that those photos were planted by them. Actually hilarious. And so they just went and looked at all they had to do. And it's so easy for them too. People think, oh, is it hard for them to plant photos? No, planting the photos is trivial. They did a reverse image search to look for similar images on the internet. They found this set of Japan photos or whatever, and then they hatched a plan to say, okay, pull the metadata from those, and we're going to like make it look like these photos were like in the middle of them, right? That was their plan. That was their big plan. Make it look like they're in the middle of those photos. And it's so crazy that the whole story fell apart upon any analysis. Like the photos don't exist anywhere online before 2016, but the original set does. They're from like the middle of the set. Like they added them in there. All the photos were taken in like 10 seconds total. 10 seconds total. Like, wait, you took 5 perfect photos out of a commercial airplane window from different angles all in 10 seconds? So they kind of messed up on the metadata. And I do want to shout out Lua and Bobby O, who were just hammering, and also a Wall Street Advisor, of course, who were just hammering them about those photos because they knew those photos were full of crap. So I don't want to get aggressive here tonight, but anybody who was involved in the cloud picture hoax on the website textures.com, including the website owner, including Jonas DeRoe, this is your only chance. I'm going to give you one and only chance. You can have a week. One and only chance right now. Apologize. Admit that you scammed the world with the fake photos on your website or whatever excuse you want to come up with. Apologize to the world. Admit that those photos that you planted on the website are fake. Admit that you didn't take those photos out of an airplane in Japan. This is literally your one and only chance. I'm only giving these people, Jonas DeRoe, whoever the website owner, Mick West does not get this opportunity. You guys get one chance. If you come out and make a video and you admit that you were full of shit when you were trying to say that these were photos of Japan that you took, I will let bygones be bygones. If you do not come out in the next week and admit that you were full of shit and that Kim.com scammed you or whatever their story you want to make up, then your life is effectively over. Because we are looking at whammy Gorgon Stare footage, and you tried to actively conspire to cover that footage up from becoming public. Let that weigh on your conscience. I'm going to repeat this one more time so that you heard me correctly. This is the one and only chance that Jonas DeRoe, the person who pretended to take the pictures of Gorgon Stare, and the website owner that fraudulently uploaded the photos to their website, who's legally responsible for those photos being on their website, these are your one and only chance. If I were you, I would delete those photos from your website yesterday, if I were you, because you are in big legal trouble beyond anything you could have ever imagined in your whole life. Better than anything you could have ever imagined. This is your one and only chance to issue an apology video that you got scammed, that you got frauded, that you tried to scam us, whatever the story is. I don't know and I don't care. Somebody planted those photos on your server and you are an accomplice. If there isn't one, then my wrath is going to be something that you do not want. You will never have a peaceful day for the rest of your life. I will make sure that everybody knows who you are. I will make sure that everybody knows that you tried to cover up MH370 and that you are a fraudster and a scammer, that nobody should ever hire you. Nobody should ever do business with you. And that potentially you should go to jail. Conspiracy to cover up a crime where 239 people disappeared is prison time. That's prison time. Somebody's going to go down for MH370. And I guarantee you, the douchebags at the top, they're not going to be the ones that want to go down for this. They're going to let some asshole photographer that got scammed go to prison. They're going to let some website owner who had no idea probably that the photos got put onto his website, they're going to let that guy go to prison for this. You guys are going to go to fucking prison over this. Do you not realize what's going on? You covered up what happened to MH370 on behalf of the Air Force, who is caught red-handed in Gorgon stare video that cannot be faked. And there's pictures of it on your website. On your website. If I'm Jonas DeRoe, if I'm the website owner guy, which we're going to find your name, website owner guy. By the way, if you're in the Discord, don't post it publicly. DM that guy's name to me privately. I want to know everything about that guy. Maybe he's connected to the spooks, what have you. If I'm one of those guys, you guys need to lawyer up right now. You guys need to go talk to your lawyers because you're in big fucking trouble. Big, big trouble. And I do want to say that I will under no circumstances harm myself. I am going to make sure that everybody responsible for this faces the full extent of the law as much as we can possibly push it. I would never harm myself. And if anything were to happen to me, I want to make sure that all of my private correspondence, everything on my cell phone, I want it to become public. All the good, all the bad, everything. I want everybody to read through every message, every signal message, everything that I've ever posted. And then you guys can determine, based on after you read all of the personal correspondence that I've had with various people, what your opinion is on everything that I've been pushing. Okay. Let's see what else we got here, chat. Now, the other thing is this, guys, and sorry for the glare. I'm going to see if I can deal with this. No wonder everybody's been freaking out. No wonder all these people have been too afraid to talk about the MH370 videos. No wonder the UFO community people would never touch this with a 10-foot pole. No one was going to ever touch these videos, right? Like, these videos aren't just the answer to the UFO phenomenon. They show us doing a black operation on an airplane, and they expose us as having the technology. And if that wasn't enough, they also expose 100% classified military footage. There is no Gorgon stare footage available on the internet. We looked, it's not out there. So these videos are like the biggest. I mean, I've said it before. They're the biggest national security leak ever. Ever by far. Not even really close, to be honest with you. Actually wild. Oh, yeah. So I already reached out to the Air Force, and I reached out to Sierra Nevada Corporation as well. So Sierra Nevada Corporation is the one that makes the camera, or not the camera. They actually combine everything together and integrate it. So they're the ones that like combines everything in the software. So Sierra Nevada, I reached out to them. I'm not going to say who I'm getting in touch with because I know there's going to be a million insane people messaging them. But I'm going to get a response. I'm going to get a response from them, and I'm going to get a response from the Air Force. And if I don't, I'm going to call every single day. Every single day until I get the response. And they can try to lie, but here's the problem. They really can't lie. Some of you are going to say, well, they're going to lie. They can't. How can they lie? If they lie about that being Gorgon stare footage, then at any point in the future, if anything gets leaked that actually proves it's Gorgon stare footage, those people are like legally liable for lying. So they can't even lie. The only thing they can do is they can either admit that it's actually Gorgon stare footage, or they can say that we can't say for national security reasons. Those are the only things they can really do. Or they can just try to ignore me and try to say nothing whatsoever. So that's the reason why I reached out right away, because I thought, oh, okay, we have them. We literally have them just against the ropes, nothing they can do right now. And we just need to be hammering them and forcing them to give a response. Don't give them time to come up with some bullshit because they got to come up with a story. So what they're doing right now is the Air Force is probably talking to Sierra Nevada. There's probably high-ranking people having phone call conversations, freaking out about what the messaging is going to be, how they're going to respond to me. Because they have to make sure they keep their story straight, right? The Air Force can't say one thing and have Sierra Nevada Corporation say the other. And this is another reason why we get statements from everybody, right? We make them, if they want to conspire behind the scenes, like anything they were to do right now to conspire to try to cover this up, they're putting themselves at huge amounts of risk. And this is how I want, this is why and how I'm pummeling them and attacking them. Attack them from every angle. Press them. Press them while they're stuck in the corner. Press them, make every single one of these companies that was connected to this system give a public statement. Try to catch one of them saying something inconsistent with the other. And if they do start communicating, then I'm going to FOIA their communications. So the next thing I'm going to do, if this doesn't pan out, like we don't get them to admit it, that there is no hiding this. Let me be clear. Here's the next rant, and then I'll do some donations. There is no more hiding this. This is coming out. It's over. It is over. The only thing they can do now is admit it. Even if they try to cover this up at this point, I'm going to find out the cover up. I'm going to start FOIAing people's individual communications. So if they're using government systems, I'm going to get your communications. The next thing I'm doing is I'm FOIAing all of the Air Force people that were in charge of PACCOM when MH370 went down, and I'm getting all your private correspondence. All of your correspondence that you did on military systems, I'm going to be reading it. You guys are going to mess up. You're going to have messed up, and I'm going to get it, and I'm going to prove it. So don't even try to cover it up anymore. It's all over. Don't try to lie. It's all over. We got you dead to rights. So there's absolutely no way they'll have been able to hide all of this stuff. We're going to find the people that were hiding it, and they're going to get exposed. My guess is the military people will try to keep it, they'll try to keep themselves out, you know? So that's why the people that were the debunkers, those are the people that are going to end up going down, right? Those are the people that will, like, if anyone ends up going to prison, those will be the people, right, for conspiracy, because there will be, like, physical evidence that those people were trying to cover stuff up, you know? I mean, if you're Jonas DeRoe or the website owner, like, you need to have called your lawyer yesterday. You are in so much shit. I have so much evidence that you are just done. I have Jonas DeRoe on a recording saying that he was going to accept $10,000 to claim that he took fake photos. Think about that. I have Jonas DeRoe on a recording saying that he will accept $10,000 on the spot to claim that he took photos that he didn't really take. That dude's life is over. That guy made the biggest mistake he ever made his whole life responding to the Redditors. And my guess is one of the Redditors is probably a government operative that they basically set Jonas up to be the useful idiot. But, I mean, that's his mistake. Yeah, Jonas DeRoe needs to, like, if that guy needs to be on Instagram now, making a video apologizing me, sucking me off, apologizing profusely to me. The irony of Jonas DeRoe, the biggest mistake of Jonas DeRoe is that I've already shown you all the direct messages with him. I warned him of this exact thing. I literally warned Jonas DeRoe of this exact thing, and he spit on me when I did. He claimed I was threatening him when I told him, you probably don't want to be involved in this, brother. You don't know what you're getting yourself into. So Jonas DeRoe has no excuses. Jonas DeRoe has nobody else in the world to blame. Jonas DeRoe can only blame himself for what's happened. Only blame himself for what's happened. Actually, all these people can only blame themselves for what has happened. That's the craziest part, is that they just keep making mistakes as well. Like, the other part of it is, like, here's the thing. Man, rest in peace. I really wish the intelligence community had just hit me up early on instead of being so overconfident. The intelligence community was so overconfident that they thought there was no chance in hell this was ever going to work, that there's no way that I would ever get traction, this thing. And now look at what's been going on. Look at this. Woke disclosures in complete tatters. Woke disclosures of meltdown. Nobody's into the alien stuff anymore. Lou Elizondo's been totally discredited in his own doing. The UFO hearings are all being canceled out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever. Nothing's getting done. I mean, it's just the psyops are not working at all. Meanwhile, the secret surveillance they didn't want anybody knowing about, this Gorgon stare, is getting millions and millions of views, tens of millions of views on social media. Wild. Yeah, this is disclosure. You guys are watching real disclosure. Okay, I'm gonna do some donos, but I want to get field some questions as well from you guys. Before I do that, I want to get your guys' opinion real quick on this. Are they painting the plane here? Is the purpose of this drone to like target the plane? Is this drone targeting the plane somehow so that the orbs like can lock into it? Now, the more I look at this, the more I've been wondering, like, maybe there's a reason why there's like one drone above and one drone horizontally. Like, maybe this is like a whole operation. I don't understand how operations work, where it's like, oh, you need to have like, you always have 2 drones in an operation. Like, is that a thing? Is that a thing how operations work? And one of the other things, too, is that if there were 2 drones, there might not have been any AWACS at all. There might not have been any other radar planes. You guys remember the story of the French father. Actually, I'll just play it in a second. Jesus. Never gets easier to watch, chat. Let me play this. Oh, actually, you know what? Before I even do that, I want to play this too. Just remind everybody, chat, what I have.
Another thing that I wanted to ask you, would you be willing to do an affidavit? It's kind of a notarized sworn document that your evidence is accurate, that you took that photo on that day, that there's no falsehoods in anything that you're saying?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm happy to vouch for the authenticity of these files.
Wow. That sounds like right there one of the biggest mistakes a human being has ever made on a recorded voice call in the history of mankind. That right there. That's what that has to be right there. Absolutely damning. When it comes to court, when that video gets played in court, that's going to be just the death blow. That's the one where when your lawyer hears that, they say, okay, we're settling. How much do they want? Doesn't matter. How many years they want us to take, we'll take it. Can you believe that? That was Jonas Duro. That was the clip of Jonas Duro saying that he would accept $10,000 from Kim.com, a known scammer and fraudster, to pretend to say that he took the photos that we now know there's no way he could have taken because it's Gorgon stare footage. And there's no way that Jonas Duro's pictures are in Gorgon stare footage. Guys, what do you think? Do you guys think somebody took the pictures that Jonas Duro claims to have made that somehow he remembers that and turned it into Gorgon stare footage? Or do you think that somebody took the Gorgon stare photos and turned it into photos that Jonas Duro fraudulently claimed were photos that he took? Which is more likely? I think it's pretty clear that there's no way that somebody recreated Gorgon stare footage. Yeah, no chance. No chance on that one. Now, the other video I wanted to play about the AWACS. And I am reaching out to Florence Tchangi to try to get some answers on this AWAC thing here. Where is it? Wait, how many did I take here? Oh, here it is. Okay. Oh my God. What? Okay. I hadn't watched the Netflix documentary. So when I remembered the AWACS thing, I wanted to get a clip of it. I wanted to get a clip of the French guy saying that there were 2 AWACS. Because I was wondering in my head, maybe it wasn't radar planes. Maybe it's just drones. Maybe it's 2 drones, right? And doesn't that make way more sense? An AWAC is going to have like 20 or 30 people on board it. That's a lot of people to cover this up. People would start talking. But if it's just drones filming, then there's way less people exposed to it. Way less people exposed to the operation. So there wasn't 2 AWAC planes. They were drones that have advanced radar capabilities that were tracking the plane. Yeah. See, AWACS is a mission, not an aircraft. See, this is exactly why I wanted to bring that up. Because I'm thinking this must be misrepresented. When they're saying AWACS, the guy is like misrepresenting it to somebody that doesn't understand the context. And that's exactly what it is. It's 2 drones. Yahtzee! Let's go, baby. Let's go. We're going to figure. Oh, we are going to finish this thing, chat. We are going to pull this thing across the line. We are going to pull this. So I'm going to tell you about Florence Duchengi right now, chat. Florence Duchengi does not believe the videos, but she has been kind enough to talk to me anyway. And the truth is, I had to have like a come to Jesus chat with Florence Duchengi. And I just said, look, that's Gorgon stare footage. Any Air Force person that knows Gorgon stare footage can confirm that's Gorgon stare footage. And once that's confirmed, nobody can deny it. It doesn't matter what you believe. It doesn't matter what you want to believe. That proves it 100%. And I just told her straight up, look, the plane did not get shot down out of the sky. If the plane was shot out of the sky, there'd be debris everywhere. I told her, she believes that the plane never turned back around. That's what Florence believes. She believes the plane never turned around when it first went dark. And I told her, yes, it did. They just manually took control of the plane because it was on fire, or the battery fire, and they just turned it around. And I told her, look, these videos are going to be proven to be real. They're going to be proven to be real. You have an opportunity right now to be famous for all of history. This is what I told her. I said, you have an opportunity to be famous for all of history by helping to solve this mystery. And I told her, you have information that can solve the mystery right now. She spoke to the source that said that there were 2 AWACS and the Americans know. She spoke to them and vetted them. She knows who that person is. Think about that, chat. Who is that person? Whatever that person is, knows something profound about this. How do they know that there were 2 drones in there? How do they know that? Did they know the videos leaked? Did somebody talk about it? Think about it. How could they have known? Whoever that person is, first of all, their life's in danger right now. Their life's in danger right now, and they should probably reach out to me. Now that I'm talking about this publicly, their life's probably in danger. Second of all, whoever that person is,